This is the Iron Chef EduProtocol. If you've ever seen the show Iron Chef, it is a cooking show where the participants have to either use or have a secret ingredient in their recipe, kind of figure out how to fit that into the traditional recipe. In this case, what students are doing is they are collaboratively working on a presentation, and you're going to divide the class into small groups or pairs. And you're going to have a slide deck with 3, 4, or 5 slides, anything you really want to have on it. But there is going to be a secret ingredient that needs to kind of spice it up and make the students think a little bit more critically about that particular content. It makes a little bit more sense once we get into it. So I'm going to be showing you one that I had used. I taught 4th grade forever. And in 4th grade, there is an emphasis on Greek mythology. And what I like about Iron Chef is the secret ingredient can be picked by the students as well. And my students were getting into 80s music, and we decided to create a totally rad Greek mythology Iron Chef presentation. So the way that this works is I'm going to have you click on that big image right there, and you're going to be able to experience this in the self-paced session right here. And the reason I had set this up on a Google Sheet is so when the student teams were done doing this, they can post the link to their presentation here and they can see each other's presentation. Now, I'm going to have you experience this individually since this is self-paced, but normally this would be worked on together with a team of about probably 4 students. So I'm going to click on this slide deck, and this is going to be the template. So it is going to force your own copy right here. In this case, the very first slide, I have links to stories that were about Greek mythology. Orpheus and Eurydice. In fact, I will just share with you what I made. There are 3 different slides here. The first slide is a title slide with a summary of the story. Then the second slide is an emphasis on characters. So in this case, you put down the main character or character's names, and they do a brief description here. And then the last slide is all about what do you think is the theme or lesson from your story, which is typical of most types of presentations that we give to the students. Now, here is where the Iron Chef comes in, and this is the secret ingredient. So that's going to be down here, that secret ingredient to sort of spice it up. So in this case, the students need to find an 80s song that would play in the background of this story that would demonstrate what the story is. Same thing with characters. They're going to find someone famous in the 80s who would represent or play that character if it was an 80s version of the Greek myth. And now for the theme, students will find a quote, a meme, a movie poster, or something from the 80s that relate to the story. Now, when I build out these slide decks, I really like giving them an example of what that would look like when it's finished, especially now if we are doing the self-paced or you have students working independently in their small groups. So here is the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. So Orpheus and Eurydice were wed. They fell in love. Eurydice ended up stepping on a snake and got killed because the snake was poisonous and died. So Orpheus, because he loved her so much, journeyed down into the underworld. He used to play a lyre, which I don't think I added in here, but I should have. And he put Cerberus to sleep, the dog that guards the underworld, and then he tries to persuade Hades to give him Eurydice back. And he says, okay, as long as Eurydice follows you out of the underworld, I'll let you do that, but you cannot turn around. If you turn around and look behind you, she's going straight back into Hades. And Orpheus ended up turning around and Eurydice is gone. So my secret ingredient song that I thought would be perfect for this story is Total Eclipse of the Heart. And you have to kind of put here why you say you want that to be the song. Now, if you've never used Google Slides before, this is a really great tool to use for these templates because students can go right here and go to Insert. And in this case, they can go to Video. And I could have looked up that Total Eclipse song. Right here, it'll pop up. And then students can immediately embed that right here into the slide deck. The next one is using the same story. So they're all using the same story, is the characters. So I put Orpheus and Eurydice. how he plays the lyre. So I'm going to make Slash from the 80s be the guitar player, and I'm going to have the flash dance person here be Eurydice because she was dancing. Over here, they can go to insert image and search right from the web, or they can go ahead and go to insert and upload a picture from their computer. Now, the way that they became circles is students can go here, and I always show my students how to do this. You can click on the image and right click on it and go ahead and replace that image, and it will go ahead and replace it right inside that circle that's already cropped. If students want to make it a different shape or something, they just need to click on the shape and go here to this crop button. So you see this crop button, and there's this tiny little drop down right here called mask image. And this allows students to create the image in any shape they want. So you can download and search for GIFs and insert them in here, just like you would a normal picture. The last one is a theme. So students write out the theme. But I found a meme from the 80s from Indiana Jones, and so it says snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? And that was because she ended up, stepping on a snake. Now, what's really fun about these is once the students have built all of theirs out, they can click on the example slides and just delete them. They can change the background colors of their slides as well. So they can go here and go to background and change it whatever obnoxious 80s color you want. And then the students go here and go to share. And instead of being restricted, we want either everyone at Albuquerque Public Schools, or if you wanted to put everyone with the link, but I think they can only do Albuquerque Public Schools can view this. I'm going to copy this link. And then we're going to go back to our spreadsheet, have the students give their group a name, and then just paste that link right in there. So then they can see each other's presentations. Now, in this particular Pear Deck that is self-paced, I have the EdTech Tools for Iron Chef templates. But basically, any tool that you can use with slides or the ability to add things works beautiful for Iron Chef. Another thing that's really fun is if you have students, after they get used to this EduProtocol, pick their own secret ingredient, and then the teams have to guess what that secret ingredient was.